This clip is brought to you by VegasWinners.com. Get expert sports betting advice from some of the best handicappers in the world. Head on over to VegasWinners.com and win yourself some money.
Now at Super Brawl at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. Would this have been your first chance to work the Cow Palace, or had you been there before?
Nope. That was that was my first, because we ran San Jose. I don't think I worked for Vince at the Cow Palace.
What'd you think of the Cow Palace as a venue?
It's good. You know what? I did work there at WWF days. I did work there at the WWF, but it's an old building, and everything good with an old building and everything bad with an old building. But I enjoyed it. So much history. It's one of those buildings that I had heard from a kid, Pat Patterson, Ray Stevens, and Roy, just the legendary territory that was the Cow Palace.
So let's talk about the match. Meltzer would say, Jarrett pinned McMichael in 8-12, earning the right to join the Four Horsemen. This was the Deborah McMichael show. At one point, she stopped Steve from attacking Jarrett outside the ring, allowing Jarrett to clobber Steve from behind. However, when Jarrett used the ropes for leverage and an abdominal stretch, she clocked his hand with the briefcase. Better match than you'd think. Finish saw a referee bump. Steve tried to get the briefcase, but Deborah wouldn't give it to him and instead threw it backwards over her head right into Jarrett's hands. Jarrett clocked Steve hard and got the pin. Deborah acted concerned about causing her husband to lose, but then she winked into the camera, star in 3/4. What did you think of that?
Again, on paper, I understood it, but I wasn't the only one discussing it. I know Mongo. Hey, this isn't, I get it. It's sports entertainment, but the husband looks really stupid here. She's winking into the camera. Let's figure out something else. Let's do something more subtle, I think was the running conversation. But it was what it was. And we all got on board with what was asked.
You're accepted into the Four Horsemen. I mean, obviously the greatest stable of all time, and people are going to debate that now with the NWO and DX to come afterwards. But at this point, I mean, you want to talk about innovators. And as a kid who grew up watching the TBS show, you had to think this is, even though maybe the creative wasn't the best of all time to get there, you're now officially a horseman. How about it?
We're joking about it, but still, that 12-year-old kid that would.
It's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Get home from my basketball games, in middle school or even before that, maybe. Yeah. Get home and, the magazines that would be on my dad's coffee table, Pro Wrestling Illustrated and all that. So the Four Horsemen. And we already went through the original four, and J.J. Dillon, that was the memory etched in my mind. And now here it is, X amount of years later. And not only am I a Four Horseman, the man himself, the Nature Boy, knighted me, so to speak. And where this story, I still at this point had really high hopes that we could get back into this. And now I'm officially in, and me and Rick go down our way, whether we because there was talk, hey, we can tag, you guys win the belts, or maybe not, but something to tell that Jeff Rick story. And I was still had, at this point I did, maybe delusional, but I was highly optimistic we could head in that direction.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.